You know all those Disney movies like Cinderella and, I don't know, Beauty and the Beast and whatever, that girls watch and what we all watched as kids, that we all kind of thought, oh, I want to be in a relationship like that. There's an issue with that for guys. There isn't an issue for girls. Guys need to create that relationship for women, that they are Cinderella and that they shall go to the ball and that they can do all these lovely things. But the guy needs to remain in the real world. So, what do I mean by this and what's the overall philosophy? Guys, if you're going into relationships with girls, if you're dating women, and you're finding yourself getting entrapped in the whole getting flowers, going on trips, doing all these lovely things for them, then it's only going to cause issues for you. What does that mean? Does it mean that you shouldn't be doing these things? Absolutely not. And this is where it's about the guy should be leading the relationship in the Disney direction, doing the Disney stuff, the handwritten letters, you know, surprises, trips, gifts, flowers, whatever, right? You should be doing all of that. But you yourself need to remain in the real world and understanding that that is not real, in a way. Why? Why can't the guy get enveloped in this whole fantasy and live it with her and it's Romeo and Juliet? That's funny, that was a completely non-scripted point, but funnily enough, Romeo ends up dying in Romeo and Juliet, and that maybe there's something metaphorical in that. Because if you're getting entrapped in these points too, and you're going and you're doing the Disney stuff and you are falling for it and thinking you're this Disney prince with this perfect relationship, not only are you going to get arrogant and cocky and overlook a lot of flaws in the relationship because you're biased to looking to the positives, because you think you're living this romantic Romeo-so life, but also you're going to get carried away and get so emotionally invested to the point that it's detrimental to you and the way you act, because you should always be serving yourself and, you know, your purpose and your business and everything else before you serve your woman. And that's nothing against the woman. Women are absolutely amazing, but you should always be serving yourself first, because you can only pour from a half full cup, or at least a full cup. And if you're putting all of your energy and all of your thoughts and everything else into a relationship or into dating women, then you've got nothing to pour from yourself, because you're only focused on that. And so why should you be the one that's making this? It's not even an illusion, it's genuinely for the woman, it should be the romantic Disney lifestyle. But why can you not live it and they can? Because the thing is, to a woman it means so much more than what it does to the man. You know the memes of when people are walking around online, a couple, and it's like the man's, I don't know, they're going through the airport and the guy's like, right, I've got my passport, she got her passport, we got to get to the gate quick enough, plane's gonna go at this time, so we got to be there at this time, let's leave for the airport there, it's gonna take half an hour, add on a bit of traffic. That's what the guys do. That's what the guys should be doing if you're the leader of the relationship, which you should be for the best relationship dynamic. All the while the woman, how do I say this in the best way? I was gonna go la-di-da-di-da, and that's completely not accurate. She's more so like, right, have I packed the right stuff? Have I got enough clothes? Have I got my full facial routine? Have I got my mascara? Oh no, I've only got that brand. Do I want that color of lipstick or that color of lipstick? And that's just the two genders playing to their strengths, and that's the natural gender roles that there are. And so in her role, that is her whole thing, is the beauty, is the, she feeds off of your energy, and so it's on you to give her your energy, and that's done through the experiences and the handwritten notes and the trips and everything else, the flowers and whatever else you can come up with. Absolutely do that, but also remember that at any moment it can all go tits up. And that's not to have a negative spin on things. It's more an in the back of your head thing of like, I wouldn't even say it's don't get emotionally invested. I would say it's remember the real world. And the real world is that that's her life to live and your life to create, but not your life to live. You don't get to live that. You get to do the trips and you get to do the stuff, but just also then when you come back, I think this is kind of the main difference, that when you come back from the trips and whatnot, or whatever you do, you need to lock in, and you need to, I rarely say you need to lock in, but on this occasion you do. You need to go back to your life and continue smashing whatever you're smashing, be it the gym, be it your income, be it whatever you're smashing. You need to continue doing that. And then when she comes back, she's going to be the person who gets to live the Disney romantic, oh, that was so much fun, like we did this and then we did that. That's the main difference, I think. If I could summarize it in one point, that would be the difference, is that she gets to reminisce and think and fantasize about these things, whereas the guy has to go back and continue to work, because that is what his job is. That is what our purpose is as guys, is to continue to work and put the effort in, because the second you get slack in a relationship, the second that you start to give up, that you stop going to the gym because you spend more time texting them all the time at night, or whatever that might be that you're doing. Maybe you're just thinking about it all the time, or you're spending hours and hours planning the next thing you're going to do, the next date night, whatever that, is for you. That's when you start to fall short in the other areas, financially, physique-wise, etc. And that's where it becomes detrimental to you, where you're actually then doing things that she's unhappy with. What do I mean by that? If you're spending so much time fantasizing about these things, right, then it means you're spending less time on yourself. And for a man, spending less time on yourself is more detrimental than a woman, because women, like men, appreciate men more for physique and income, naturally, because it's their job, right? That's the man's job to provide. That's not a sexist thing, it's not a misogynistic thing. Woman wants to go and get a job, brilliant, crack on, right? You do you. I would probably want my wife to have a job, right? Or like at least something business-wise, or something to keep her happy. Whereas the woman is, she's the one who has the time to fantasize and think about these things because they want to, right? And although some guys want to, like, I get it, some guys want to sit back and think about all these things. The second that you think about those things, the trips and everything else, and start devoting all of your time to that instead of yourself and your income and your physique and anything else that makes you attractive to the woman, is the second that your skill level in that starts dropping down. You stop going to the gym, so your physique gets a bit worse. You focus a bit less on business, so your income gets a bit worse. I'm not saying she likes you for your money, she's a gold digger. I'm saying if you have less money, you can do less of the things that she likes. You can do less of the trips. So you need to continue to focus on that, which means you don't get to live the Disney lifestyle, but the woman does. There's nothing wrong with that. There's zero wrong with that. And that should fulfill you more. I promise you, that thought and inaction fulfills you so much more than if you were to be the one living it. And you were to be the one fantasizing and thinking about all of the things that you want to do and the next date night and blah, blah, blah. That's not your job to do. It's your job to plan it. But when it's done planning, get back on with work. And it's your job to live it with her in the moment. But when the moment is done, get back to work. And she's the one who gets to live it through memory and through thought. Because all of it is, I was going to say mind games. It's not a game. All of it is mental. She gets to live the mental stuff and you don't. And that's just the way it is. And that's kind of fulfilling. It's kind of nice, because it means all of the stuff that you do positive for her, she's going to remember and think about. And that's why your job to provide is so important. Your job is to create the Disney lifestyle and not quite live it. You live it physically, but in retrospect, in memory and everything else, in after planning and after the moment, it's time to crack on. Does that mean you can never remember it? No. But it just means stop giddily texting people and spending hours and hours searching for stuff and things you can do. You should do a bit of that, but when it's done, it's done. It's like what they say in gambling adverts, when the fun stops, stop. That's exactly the same thing. So yeah, it's a man's job to create the Disney lifestyle, not live it.